A transcript of your telephone.
Two Fullerton police officers, Officer Manuel Ramos and Corporal J. Cicinelli, were back in court Tuesday morning for day 2 of a preliminary hearing into the death of Kelly Thomas. Dr. Michael Lakawa, a trauma surgeon at UCI Medical Center in Orange, spent most of Tuesday morning on the witness stand. John Barnett, the attorney for Officer Ramos, questioned Lakawa about the prosecution's theory that Thomas was suffocated by the weight of the officers on top of him.
Could you describe what happens when there is a mechanical compression of the chest sufficient to cause hypoxia? What happens?
Well, if a patient has compression on his chest and is unable to breathe adequately, the first thing that will happen is that carbon dioxide will build up because you don't ventilate well, and ultimately your oxygen in the blood, the content of oxygen in the blood will fall because not enough oxygen is able to move from the lungs into the blood. And then that would then cause somebody ultimately to go unconscious.
At a noon recess, Kelly Thomas's father, Ron, and his attorney gave their opinion about the defense's line of questioning.
They want to go in there and cross-examine these healthcare providers and suggest that maybe they did something wrong because they didn't provide the right kind of intubation or the right kind of CPR. The reality is, it's the beating on the face of Kelly Thomas. It's the breaking of his bones on his face, his nose, the ethmoid process, the zygomatic process. They caused profuse bleeding. And these are the bones, when they broke right into his facial cavity, that bled straight down his lungs. And that's what killed him. This, oxygen deprivation due to the chest compression is a part of it. It contributed, but it wasn't the reality. The reality, it's the blood in the lungs that caused it. And that blood only got there because they kept hitting him in the face.
In the afternoon, the defense planned to show the surveillance video of the July encounter between Thomas and the 6 Fullerton police officers again today, and ask Lakawa where and when the fatal pressure was applied. Later, a forensic expert is scheduled to testify, and there's a good chance that autopsy photos will be shown. The preliminary hearing is to determine if there is sufficient evidence to put the 2 officers on trial. Ron Thomas and his attorney believe there will be.
I have very, very little doubt that this case will not go to trial. I'm certain that it will go to trial. I'm just hoping that they'll add more officers to it.
Rob Whitfield for OCRegister.com.